All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we are cutting straight through the glossy marketing to uncover the actual real-world value of the Sunny Health Fitness SF-T7718 treadmill. Now, if you're thinking about buying this machine, which is sometimes called the Strider treadmill, by the way, mostly because it promises to fold completely flat and save you a ton of room, well, hold on just a second. This is absolutely one of those machines that has some genuinely fantastic highlights, but it also carries a few serious deal breakers. Depending on what you need, it could be the absolute perfect addition to your home or a total regret. Because let's face it, good marketing and real-life value aren't always the exact same thing. So we're going to break down the design, the ease of use, what actual buyers are saying about its real-world performance, and exactly who should be hitting that buy button and who should probably keep looking.
So the main reason you're probably even looking at this treadmill right now is its incredibly appealing, space-saving, flat-folding design. And honestly, it makes total sense. Unlike those massive, traditional gym-style treadmills that literally take over an entire corner of your living room forever, the SF-T7718 is designed to get out of your way. When you fold it down, it looks super sleek, highly manageable, and just so much easier to live with. It's an incredibly smart concept for anyone who wants to work out at home without their home constantly looking like a commercial gym. But as you'll see in just a moment, we really need to look past the sheer visual appeal of that fold-flat promise to understand what living with it on a daily basis actually entails. Because, yeah, it folds down beautifully to about 10.5 inches high. And that sounds amazing, right? Like it can just effortlessly slide right under any piece of furniture. But the physical reality is that the whole shebang is still 63 inches long and it weighs nearly 118 pounds. What that means in practice is that it's not exactly something you'll be casually tossing under the bed with one hand every single morning. Well, unless you're secretly a competitive powerlifter. Now that weight is actually a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, 118 pounds helps the treadmill feel incredibly planted and stable, way more stable than those flimsy ultralight walking pads. But on the flip side, the everyday portability is definitely a lot more limited than the breezy marketing imagery might make it seem. Basically, flat does not automatically mean tiny, and it certainly doesn't mean lightweight. Now, one really brilliant physical feature here is the incredibly low-profile deck. When you have it all set up, the running surface sits roughly 2.76 inches off the floor, literally just a couple of inches. So why does this matter? Well, stepping on and off a traditional highly elevated treadmill can actually be pretty intimidating, especially for beginners or older users. By keeping the deck so incredibly close to the ground, the SF-T7718 feels so much safer and far more accessible. It just gives you this fantastic sense of grounded stability. So if you or someone in your household gets a little nervous balancing on a standard raised treadmill, this ultra-low step-up height is a massive practical win.
But before we get too hyped up, there is a crucial number we have to talk about. 0, as in 0 degrees of incline adjustment. None. The deck is entirely fixed in place. For a lot of people, this right here immediately disqualifies the machine. If you're someone who loves hill training, or if you want a ton of workout variety, or maybe you rely on the steep incline to burn a bunch of calories while doing a low-impact walk, yeah, you won't find any of that here. You have to be totally 100% okay with walking or jogging on a perfectly flat surface for every single workout. When we zoom out and weigh the broader specs, it's kind of like a giant puzzle of compromises starts coming together. Let's look at the pros first. You get a wonderfully stable 20-inch width. Now that extra width is actually a pretty big deal because it gives you great side-to-side confidence. You're not going to feel like you're walking on a tightrope. It also packs a really solid 0.6 to 9 miles per hour speed range. But let's look at the cons. We already mentioned that totally fixed deck, but take a look at the 47-inch deck length. Here's the catch. While the motor might technically be able to hit 9 miles per hour, that 47-inch length means a lot of users simply won't have the physical room to safely open up their stride to run that fast.
It does come with the solid basics you'd expect, for sure. You get shock absorption to protect your joints, a standard safety key, and these highly convenient quick speed buttons that let you jump instantly to 3 or 6 miles per hour. But get this, the pulse tracking feature isn't exactly what you might expect. It uses an infrared pulse sensor button, and the catch is it actually requires you to completely stop moving to get a reading. I know, right? So if you are strictly focused on continuous, real-time heart rate training while you're actively jogging, this specific feature is definitely not going to be a strong selling point for your daily routine.
Okay, quick heads up here, because this is super important. You absolutely have to be careful about model confusion when you actually go to buy. The standard SF-T7718 and the SF-T7718 Smart version have completely different app and Bluetooth capabilities. One of the absolute easiest ways to end up frustrated and to potentially overpay is buying the wrong version just because you assume they're all exactly the same. So when you're scrolling through listings online, do yourself a favor and double check that exact model number to ensure you're getting the audio options and the smart app behaviors that you actually want.
On a much more positive note, the assembly is, well, it's refreshingly simple. Unlike a lot of massive home gym equipment that shows up in 100 tiny pieces with a manual that reads like an advanced engineering textbook, setting this up mostly just requires you to unfold the unit, lock the frame securely into place, and attach the device holder. Based on the manual and overwhelming buyer feedback, it's really not a long, complicated process. It's essentially unbox, unfold, and get moving, which is honestly a huge relief if you aren't exactly the most mechanically inclined person out there.
However, let's talk about what happens after that initial honeymoon phase wears off. Real buyers consistently note a few everyday annoyances that pop up. For instance, they mention loud startup and system beeps that you can't really mute. They talk about a very bright console display that might be a bit glaring if you like working out in a dimly lit room. And quite a few mention a somewhat wobbly tablet and phone holder. Now look, are these catastrophic machine-breaking problems? No, of course not. But they are exactly the kinds of daily quirks you should know about before you decide to bring it into your home. So let's tackle some of those big, frequently asked buyer questions that pop up all the time. Starting with the most common one, is it good for small spaces? And the answer is yes, absolutely, especially when you compare it to traditional bulky treadmills. But you've got to remember that 63-inch footprint we talked about earlier. If your plan is to slide it under a bed, you literally have to pull out a tape measure and verify you have that 10.5-inch height clearance and enough length. It's a fantastic space saver for sure, but you still have to respect its actual dimensions. It's space-friendly, not magically tiny. Next up, is it good for running? Well, for light jogging at a moderate pace, sure, maybe. But if you are a taller user with long legs, or if you're an aggressive runner who really wants to sprint and push your limits, you are absolutely going to find that 47-inch deck length far too restrictive for a natural, comfortable stride. Like we said, the motor technically has the speed, but the physical deck doesn't really give you the runway. So you should really think of this primarily as an excellent machine for walking, brisk walking, and maybe some light jogging. Okay, this next point is absolutely critical. If you are a heavier user, you must verify the specs before purchasing. The available information out there actually shows a bit of a discrepancy depending on exactly where you look. Older manuals state a 250-pound weight limit, while current Sunny listings claim a 265-pound limit. This variation could depend entirely on the specific model year, the seller, or the exact version you're looking at. Seriously, do not just guess on this. Double-check the exact listing you are buying from to ensure it's going to safely support your needs. We also really need to spotlight another potentially huge deal breaker number, and I really want to emphasize this one, 180. That number represents the incredibly short 180-day warranty on parts and components. Now, to be fair, it does have a decent 3-year coverage on the structural frame, which is good, but 180 days for the non-frame parts, that is not exactly generous considering the money you're spending. It's a pretty serious compromise, and you definitely need to factor it into your overall assessment of the treadmill's value. So let's build out a quick before you buy blueprint checklist, just to make sure you are totally prepared. Number 1, physically measure your specific space and clearance. Number 2, prepare yourself for a heavy 118-pound delivery. You might actually need a friend's help getting it inside. Number 3, anticipate needing a treadmill mat to protect your floors and dampen the sound. And number 4, if you're outside the US, like maybe you're in the UK, check your voltage and plug compatibility very carefully, because the available info points to a 100 to 120 volt setup aimed at the US market. That last point alone could literally save you a massive headache. So, bringing it all together, breaking it down clearly, who is this actually for? Well, apartment dwellers, or frankly anyone needing a wider, highly stable, low-profile deck primarily for walking and light jogging, you should absolutely jump on this. It feels substantial without completely dominating your living space. But on the flip side, serious runners with long strides, or literally anyone who requires incline workouts for hill training, you should absolutely avoid it. It simply doesn't have the deck length or the elevation features to make those users happy. Which brings us to my final verdict for this explainer, and that is, consider it. But consider it as a highly specific solution to a specific problem. It is a truly fantastic option, provided you can find it at a lower mid-hundreds price point, where the overall value proposition makes a lot of sense. If it's priced too high, those compromises we talked about, like that short parts warranty and the total lack of incline, they just stand out way too much. And please, always double-check the exact model version before hitting that buy button. Which really just leaves us with one final vital thought for you to ponder as you decide if the Sunny SF-T7718 is the right fit for your home. Ask yourself, is a sleek, fold-flat storage design truly worth sacrificing incline variety and a full, uninhibited running stride in your daily workout? Only you know what your body and your home truly need. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today. I really hope this helped you clear up the reality behind all the marketing so you can make the absolute